Well, welcome back to indigomusic.com. And I am so excited to have someone who is going to be representing the country at the Tokyo Olympics 2020, which of course is happening in 2021. That's just the strange times that we live in. Sajan Prakash is on the other side. Sajan, thank you so much for joining us here on indigomusic.com. It's an absolute pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And firstly, I just want to say congratulations on this national record that you've achieved. Timing of 1 minute 56.38 seconds in the butterfly event. And I think this happened in Rome. How are you feeling after such a phenomenal performance?
Yeah, we certainly worked very hard for the last 1 year, coming out of the lockdown, and before that, I had an injury. So battling all that, we had to start everything from scratch. So whatever the work we have done before was not with us, and we had to start everything fresh. So it was a big challenge, eyeing on the qualification mark. But on the other side, I was recovering well from my injury and everything. So my coach, the support team, the club ANSA in Dubai, Swimming Federation of India, everyone supported us. I think we came out on the end of the deadline to qualify.
All right. And you mentioned it was a challenge training. I mean, because of the lockdown, swimming pools were not open anywhere in the country. In fact, it was probably one of the sports that were most affected with the lockdown. So how did you manage all the training and all the prep for the Olympics in Tokyo?
I think from 2020 March till July, I was in Thailand. I couldn't get out from there because of the lockdown and stuff. But in 20 August 25th, I came to Dubai because so Sports Authority of India arranged a camp for three of our Olympic B qualified athletes. And that's how I moved to Dubai. And after the 2 months, I just decided to stay here and train back. And I believe that's the best option option I got. And everything worked out well.
Oh, and we're so glad that you were in the right place at the right time. And also, there's a lot of talk. I mean, you're the first Indian to achieve this, the A category criteria. Tell us a little bit about this, and maybe a lot of people listening in don't know what exactly that means as well. So why don't you explain what the A category criteria actually is?
There is A qualifying time, which is the Olympic qualifying time. There's another B qualifying time, which is an Olympic selection time, which is an invitation time. So the FINA, the world body, set the standards. So people have the qualifying standards. The A qualifying time is all for these developed nations where people really swim fast, and they have this time achieved to go into those. It's almost an average time of a semi-final in the Olympics.
Okay, and the semi-finals from the last Olympics. Yes, the semi-final from the last Olympics. Yeah,
we can compare that to the last Olympics. And the B qualifying time is for people who cannot achieve that A qualifying time because it's that bigger standards. They have this another lower standard which they could be achieved. And then it comes to universality quotas and other quotas, whichever they select to the Olympics. And from India, I am the first person in so many years to achieve the A qualifying time. It was a barrier for a long time.
Yeah, that's just phenomenal, and that's why now I guess all the hopes, all the expectations of over 1 billion people are suddenly focused on you. So, how are you handling the pressure? Is it suddenly a lot to take in, or are you excited by the opportunity as well?
When you have so much on your shoulders, you'll be so much responsibility. But on the other hand, we have to be realistic and tell ourselves what we have it inside now, and we should just go and try to do it better. And there was no Indian before earlier in the earlier days to qualify to the semi-finals. But having achieved this A qualifying mark, I believe that we could qualify to the semis. But the standard of world swimming has gone even faster. I think we also need to step up and become more faster.
Absolutely. And of course, swimming is one of the most popular Olympic sports. Every 4 years, there's a great audience for swimming. But India, in particular, have never done too well in swimming. We've always been about the wrestling, the boxing, weightlifting. But now, because of you, and also maybe because of Sri Hari Nataraj, do you think India's chances in the swimming event have suddenly gotten better?
See, I believe that swimming is very technical sport. The only sport which is in the water, and how much ever the sports sign applies to that, that much progress we'll be seeing in the future or in the earlier days. This shows how much India is lacking behind technical support.
Mhm.
So if we if we want to match the world standards, it's clear that we need to have our own technical and support system in our country and work
Mhm.
consistently for the next 4 years, for the next Olympics, at least to perform at the finals. People
Right.
work hard together for so many years. USA Swimming, everyone, they work so technically. They could achieve they set some standard, they break the barriers and they move on to
Mhm.
Olympic medals someday and breaking world records. And we're
Right.
still down 20 years behind.
Yeah, I guess a long way to go, but definitely the nation will be keeping our hopes high with regards to you for sure. Sajan, also, Sajan, you're a Kerala boy, and as a fellow Kerala boy myself, I mean, I'm very curious how you stay away. I mean, I'm sure you have a diet, a routine that you have to keep. How do you stay away from all the lovely Kerala food, the torins, the pulisheris, and the chicken roast? It must be difficult. So how do you go about it?
It's about choosing a right food for your profession. I think
Right.
if you want to achieve at this level, I think these are the small sacrifices you need to make. I know it's hard to control food because the only
Yeah.
satisfaction we get is from food at some
Right.
point when we come from tired from training. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's about eating right, keeping your
Hmm.
body healthy. Your body is your
Hmm.
temple. If you consider that, you will
Hmm.
sacrifice for it anything.
All right. So is there anything you particularly stay away from, or do you have like a set diet? Do you have any of that? Oh,
I love sweets, so I just try to stay as much as, and I love my pak, the best, and I love biryani.
right, right. So it must be tough. And what about your routine? What's your daily routine like? I'm just a bit curious. When does your day start? How many hours in the pool? If you can give us a gist of that.
We have the non-competitive season as off season, and we load it up to the extremes. And the average, I
Hmm.
would say, is we train about 60 to 70 kilometers per week. That
Hmm.
sums up to uh, maybe more also. So it sums up to 10 sessions a week, which has 2 hours per session, and four dryland or gym sessions that also comprises 2 hours. So
Okay.
totally it comes to 28 hours of training per week, 30 hours.
All right. Wow. That definitely sounds like a full-blown training session. All right,
Yeah.
Sajan. Of course, the expectations are high. I mean, coming from a country like India, every 4 years, I'm pretty sure you're handling the responsibility very well. But do you have a particular way of staying calm, staying away from all the noise, and staying focused?
For me, I try to focus totally on my training and improve on the small things, and that keeps me busy. And my target and my thinking is only towards that. So when I'm happy with that, I don't care whatever happens outside.
Well, I'm very glad that you're staying focused on the mission, because the whole of the country will be focused on your exploits on at Tokyo. So I just want to wish you all the very best, and whatever happens, I'm pretty sure we all are very, very proud of whatever you've done
Yeah.
already. Sajan, thank you so much for joining me today on
Thank
IndigoMusic.com.
thank you so much for having me today.